Do we have an immortal soul? The Bible's complete and shocking revelation. Since the dawn of human consciousness, a question has haunted us. What happens when our body ceases to live? Is there an invisible part of us that continues its journey? An immortal essence that defies mortality? The concept of an immortal soul is a cornerstone of countless faiths and philosophies, an anchor of hope or an unfathomable mystery. But what if the most authoritative answer, the key to unlocking this age-old enigma, was contained in an ancient book, often misunderstood and interpreted through centuries of cultural filters? Prepare for an unprecedented exploration. In this video, we will delve into the depths of Scripture, analyzing the original language, the historical context, and the unified message of the Bible to uncover the complete and shocking truth about the nature of the soul. What we reveal will not only challenge popular beliefs, but will also offer a radically different perspective on life, death, and the hope that awaits us. Are you ready to reconsider everything you thought you knew? Look for the scriptures that will be cited. You will discover truths that have been hidden from you until now. Subscribe so you don't miss other pearls of biblical wisdom. To approach the biblical answer with due accuracy, we must shed preconceived notions and delve into the language in which the scriptures were originally written. The word we commonly translate as soul primarily derives from the Hebrew nephesh in the Old Testament and the Greek psyche in the New Testament. An in-depth analysis of these terms reveals nuances of meaning that are often lost in modern translations, influenced by centuries of philosophical thought extraneous to the biblical worldview. Nephesh is intrinsically linked to the concept of a breathing being, a living creature in its physical totality. Psyche, similarly, primarily refers to the living being, the person in their entirety, with their interconnected physical, mental, and emotional faculties. This fundamental linguistic understanding is the crucial starting point for unraveling the biblical truth. The soul, the human being in their complete reality. The Bible does not present the soul as a separate, pre-existing spiritual entity that is infused into the body. The creation event of the first man, Adam, is emblematic. God formed man out of dust from the ground and blew into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Genesis 2-7. The emphasis is on becoming. Adam, as a result of the union of the inanimate body with the divine breath of life, was a soul, a complete and functioning human being. He did not receive a soul. His entire person was the soul. This unitary perspective of the human being is a common thread throughout the scriptures. Imagine a lit candle. The flame, vibrant and active, represents life animating the wax, which is like our physical body. When the flame is extinguished, the light and heat vanish. Does the flame go somewhere else? No, it simply ceases to exist. Similarly, when life departs a body, it becomes still and inactive, like a snuffed-out candle. The life force, akin to the flame, doesn't relocate to another realm. It is simply no longer present, leaving behind the physical form. The tangible manifestations of the soul. The Bible attributes to the soul a wide range of concrete activities and experiences that involve the individual in their entirety. The soul can engage in strenuous work, Leviticus 23:30, experience intense desires, including hunger, Deuteronomy 12:20, nourish itself to sustain life, Leviticus 7:20, obey divine commands or rebel against them, Romans 13:1, and even be made unclean by physical contact with a corpse, Leviticus 5:2. These are not the actions of a disembodied spirit, but the expressions of the life of a real person with interconnected body, mind, and emotions. The inevitable mortality, a biblical attribute of the soul. One of the most radical and often overlooked aspects of biblical teaching is the clear affirmation that the soul is intrinsically mortal. The prophet Ezekiel proclaims unequivocally, "The soul who sins, it is the one who will die." Ezekiel 18:4-20. This principle is reiterated in numerous contexts. In the Mosaic Law, the death penalty was described as the soul being cut off or taken away, Exodus 12:15. It is significant that the Bible itself uses the expression dead soul to refer to a corpse, Leviticus 21:11, Numbers 6.6. If the soul were an immortal spark, such terminology would be meaningless and misleading. Soul and life, an indissoluble link. The Bible frequently employs the word soul as a dynamic and powerful synonym for life, che in Hebrew, zoe and bios in Greek, underscoring its precious nature and its vulnerability. In Job 33:22, the term nephesh is placed in parallelism with life, highlighting their interchangeability in certain contexts. The scriptures speak of souls exposed to mortal danger, Exodus 4:19, of souls being preserved from destruction, Joshua 2:13, and even of Jesus offering his soul life as a ransom for many, Matthew 20:28. Discover redemption by watching the dedicated video. The image of a soul going out at the moment of death, Genesis 35:18. In the account of Rachel's death, is a vivid metaphor for the cessation of life, as confirmed by translations that render the phrase as her life was ebbing away, or she breathed her last. To understand the stark contrast between biblical teaching and the widespread belief in the immortality of the soul, it is crucial to examine its historical origins. This doctrine did not originate from the Hebrew Scriptures or the early Christians, but from Greek philosophy, especially the thought of Plato and Socrates. They theorized a separation between the corruptible physical body and an immortal spiritual soul, capable of existing independently. This dualistic idea, foreign to the unitary view of man in Judaism, spread throughout the Hellenistic world and profoundly influenced subsequent religious thought, gradually being integrated into some Christian interpretations. The New Encyclopedia Britannica confirms that Christian philosophers of the early centuries adopted the Greek concept of the soul's immortality, believing that it was created by God and infused into the body at conception. It is fundamental to recognize that the Bible itself warns its followers against mixing its teachings with human philosophies. The Apostle Paul urges, "Look out that no one takes you captive by means of the philosophy and empty deception according to human tradition," Colossians 2:8. This compels us to return to the Scriptures as the sole source of truth. In conclusion, an honest analysis of the Bible reveals a soul that is the complete human being subject to death, not an immortal spark. Our hope lies in the promised resurrection. John 5:28-29. We invite you to watch the dedicated video to discover this certain truth. If this video has opened your eyes to the true nature of the soul, according to the Bible, don't stop here. Click the subscribe button so you don't miss the next videos that will delve deeper into other essential biblical teachings. Join our community of truth seekers